thing that you think America or Americans take for granted that you love?
It's choice.
Choice.
I don't think Americans understand what a unique thing to have a choice. Choice to where you live, what you do, who you marry, what you even eat. When you go to restaurants, you have at least dozens of them to choose from. In North Korea, we don't have cookbook because nobody can afford the ingredients to make different kinds of food. So I think that's what I see, that Americans don't understand how unique the way of life is here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alejandra. I'm from Venezuela, and I experienced not the same scenario, but obviously the dictator over there is a friend of Kim Jong-un, and I just have a question because the way I see the generation now is that they're so indoctrinated that there's pretty much no way to revert that damage that the left have caused. And do you think any possibility that we can change that in the near future, maybe?
Yeah, thank you. I definitely see that. I think, like people from Venezuela, Cuba, or Iran and North Korea, none of them want to live under socialism. That's why we escaped. And all these people living in democracy, they want to bring the socialism to this country. And the reason why I think they think that way is because of the American education system became a huge propaganda tool. It became an indoctrination camp, like North Korean schoolrooms. And I think once we realize what is getting into our children's minds, and also we realize how American media became liars, and they became a propaganda tool as well. Once we see that, and this hijacking of these big institutions, then I think we can change that. But first is definitely education, that our children getting brainwashed, and my son is too. I worry about that every day, and people really don't understand how bad it got in this country right now.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I just have a quick question about North Korean defectors. So when you guys come to this country, do you get worried about speaking out about all the stuff that happened in North Korea and like any retribution that like the regime might come after you?
Right. So it's interesting. When I spoke out, I became on the killing list of Kim Jong-un. And it was a legit threat. South Korean intelligence informed me, and they said you cannot go. I mean, that's right after that he killed his brother, half brother in Malaysia, Kim Jong-nam. So I was very worried. And they said, oh, if you go to America, I'm sure they are going to protect you. Instead of protecting me, actually, they have canceled me.
Yeah.
I was invited to speak at FBI Dallas last year. And then right 2 days before my speech, the head of diversity calls me and says, because of my political opinions, they have to cancel the event. So I don't get any protection in America. And I think that's why also I wrote my new book is when I was getting robbed in Chicago a few years ago during the BLM protest. I was robbed by a few black women, and they were punching me and took my wallet away in front of my son, who was a toddler. And I was trying to call the cops on these thieves. And people on the street literally circled me, looking at me. You are racist. Why are you doing this? You're racist. And skin color of the person does not make them a thief. And therefore, I cannot call cops on these thieves. Because of my skin color, I do not deserve justice in this country right now. And they call me, what do you know about oppression? Because you're a white passing person. Wow. They say I internalized the whiteness in me. I mean, just loads of bullshit again. But it's the fact that people, this is where I really worry about America, is that because they don't have actual problem, they have to keep making new problems. They have to keep creating problem out of nowhere and just out of thin air. And this is their job, every day making a problem out of nowhere. And meanwhile, our enemies in China and North Korea, they are building nukes to bomb us, to destroy us. Their only goal is destroying America. And we became this like snowflake generation. At Columbia, like before even classes, the professors would send us the trigger warnings. In this reading, we're gonna talk about some racism, some like sexual harassment. If it triggers you in any way, don't do the reading, don't come to the class, and you don't even need to tell me why it triggered you. Then like, why the heck did you go to university? If you cannot